Frontline justice work is basically where you look at bridging the gap between the community and the law.
Bridging it in terms of like connecting like spaces of knowledge or skill as well as spaces of action.
We say they have one foot in the law and one foot in the community. So it's about really understanding that the law doesn't exist outside of social systems and social systems don't exist outside of law, that the two go hand in hand.
पैरालीगल की जो परिभाषा है वो ये है कि अगर कोई गांव में कुछ प्रश्न बना या कोई इश्यू आया तो मेरा फर्स्ट कांटेक्ट पर्सन अगर सरपंच है, सरपंच मुझे वहां तक पहुंचाए तो सरपंच मेरे लिए पैरालीगल है। भले वो सिर्फ इश्यू आइडेंटिफाई कर रहा है, फिर उसको फर्दर कोई और लेके जा रहा है तो वो उस प्रक्रिया में जितने लोग हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं लेवल पर कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट और वो पैरालीगल की परिभाषा में आते हैं।
How do you make a paralegal capable of doing so much more? How do you enable many more to be frontline workers and paralegals? I think we all sense that we're on the cusp, but there's fragmentation. Those organizations don't necessarily have the linkages to technology. The technologists with some of the answers don't have the connections. And that's where I think Agami, and in this case, the OpenNyAI mission comes in.
One of the things that we've been really struggling with is understanding the work that our Nyaya Mitras do at a ground level and tracking the kind of steps that they take. Our Nyaya Mitras are very innovative with the way that they solve for their legal problems, and we want to figure out ways to track the work that they do and share it and create institutional memory around it.
When it comes to environmental advocacy, it's always a response to either an imminent threat or an imminent conflict or a long-term conflict that you know is going to take place. And your chances to secure your rights become stronger if you have the things that are required to protect your rights.
A paralegal doesn't deal with one specific type of issues. They don't have specializations like most lawyers, at least in the corporate field, tend to have. They're champions of their community, they serve their community, and for that they need to be able to access as many resources, as many people, as much of information as there is out there. And we think that to be able to simplify or rather synthesize the amount of information that's out there is where a network would really come into play.
Started off with what I thought it would be, like such a rich bunch of people coming together. I felt it would be very law focused, but when I came here I saw the space and met all the people. So I think more than that, it's very idea centric.
The fascinating thing about like situations like these, it's about like using the knowledge and like the tools that we have to like uniquely benefit like a particular use case.
Whenever I work with like organizations that work in the grassroots, it always becomes so much more salient that tech is just an enabler, it's not the solution.
So if we were to sit here and build technologies or build solutions without knowing does this need to be fixed at all? Who are the beneficiaries?
Can we do it in some other way? These are things that we alone will have no clue.
So having them here, listening from them on what happens at the last mile, that actually makes the whole of our efforts much more meaningful, much more effective.
ज़्यादा टाइम को बचाने के लिए ना एक प्लेटफॉर्म मुझे मिल गया है जहाँ से मुझे अगर बस मेरे ज़रूरत का सामान मुझे चाहिए तो वो मुझे वहाँ से मिल सकता है। तो ये है कि मैं ये लेके जाने वाली हूँ कि डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म मुझे मिल जाएगा तो मेरी बहुत सारी चीज़ें आसान हो जाएंगी।
As a system, as a sector, we are very good at problematizing. Logical conclusion is often where we get stuck, probably because we are looking at the issue so unidimensionally.
It's going to have to be a try and fail and learn approach. I think learning in this way is really useful because it's just making me a lot more comfortable making mistakes. And I think that's a huge part of this process. Yeah.
I think what's also interesting is that there are entire worlds that exist that are completely alien to each other, where there's a sort of sense of discovery and like, wow, you know, I didn't even know that there was work like this happening out there.
I think that's superb because it opens up some doors and locks in their heads, and then they bring this new kind of energy and intention and ideas into the room.
When we meet in 5 years, we will have seen so many organizations adopt and adapt these tools, and we will have seen many individual justice seekers.
You know, this seemed like the end, it did, but now that we're on the other side of it, it definitely feels like the beginning, and that's pretty exciting.